Alright fellas, let's start this episode with a question. If you had to pick, which would you rather choose, archers or skirmishers? Well, in this miniseries, we'll try and sort this age-old question out. Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to all kinds of things Bannerlord and especially advanced battlefield command and tactics. And we are continuing our Archer and Skirmisher series, and it looks like we have a contestant here. I have a save game not too long ago. In fact, the previous episode was not too long ago. You can see our army's a little bit beat up from that affair still. But because these battles are even affairs, in other words, we'll be fighting it with the same army the second time, just with a different leader and a few different troops, I think we can proceed here. So do the same upgrades for both battles. I don't know if I'll show you all this stuff for the second component of this. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, these are essentially somewhat experiments, right? This is our bow army, right? This army entirely is comprised of units with bows, and what I mean by that is the companions and then the primary army companion. So there's two different armies. One of them has javelins and the other one has bows, and what I'm doing for this is basically disbanding one of those for each of the battles, right? The opposite one for the next battle. So our army is very bow heavy here, and we have a very large Sturgian force here assailing us. 2,200. This is quite audacious. Zuvan, let's see, we'll do some upgrades. There's an upgrade. We can upgrade this guy's bow skill to 275. Some of our companions are still leveling their bow skill, and some of course are still leveling their throwing skill. Normal player damage this whole series, and into battle we go. Now of course we're going to be exhibiting tactics throughout this series, and it's archers for the first battle, and then the second battle will be javelins. I don't necessarily do it in that order, but that's the idea of this. Which army is gonna do better, right? So we will sort of collect our thoughts after this, after the second battle, and we'll kind of see how it goes. All right, so let's talk tactics here. Because I have a lot of archers, I don't have very much infantry. In fact, you can see I have 39 infantry. This is going to be, very unacceptable to do normal tactics. We're going to have to kite. We're going to have to get creative here. And one of the things I probably will have to do is square an archer division, right? I have this archer division with lots of crossbow. We'll probably have to square them or even charge them in shield wall to act as offense. I didn't look closely at the Sturgian force, but I'm willing to bet a nickel, a brass or a gold nickel, or however the saying goes, that they have lots of infantry. This hill on the side here does look like an opportunity, so I'll put an archer division up here. Now we have hardly any cavalry too, so I can't really make my normal cavalry screens here, but we'll do the best we can, sort of piecing it together with the 2nd, 3rd, and 8th. The 8th is horse archers, but they still, they still get in the way of enemy horse and slow them down. So we'll try that. I don't know how much room behind me we have, and that can be an issue sometimes with kiting, because kiting is something we're going to have to do here, right? The 5th on the mountainside, this 7th archers will definitely be pulling back as this battle goes on, and the 4th, again, I'll probably be trying to draw the enemy attention with that division, that crossbow division. It makes sense to have the 7th actually opposite of me here. That way we can at least kite in opposite directions. All right. So that should be good enough. I went through my units just for memorization's sake, and we're ready to go here. Of course, Zuvan and the rest of the companions have bows as well. That means I get to practice some of my mediocre but slowly improving bow skills here, and I don't mean in-game, I mean my actual skills. It'd be very difficult on a horse. Of course, the Horse Archer series definitely helped with that, but it's still a very unusual art for me, right? Most of the time, my companions in my campaigns have used javelins. So we'll try to get some practice here on this dude with the camel. The guy got shot from 100 different angles and killed. There's always one dipshit on a camel that seems to charge directly at us. Yeah, see, I can't hit the fucking broadside of a barn right now. Come on, baby. Dial this shit in here. Don't worry, I'm not going to run around and shoot arrows the whole battle. And these battles will be a little bit chaotic. I understand the tactics here may not be super easy to say, so I will do my best to describe them. Right, we're going to start kiting back right away, right? We've got all this infantry coming in. It's a huge mass of heavy infantry. We can smoke some of these lords as they move up. But when the infantry's, I would say 80 yards away is when I like to start kiting. You don't want to kite too early because then your units literally aren't even shooting at you, right? Shooting at the enemy, right? We need to get some damage in. If you just run from the beginning of the battle, it obviously doesn't work. Now, I've got this 6th division here. I do see some shock troops in there. It's a mix of infantry and whatnot. We'll be able to use them somewhat dynamically, and that's also the division that Zuvan is captaining. So we will bring him over here. I can already hear the guys again saying, flank from the other side next time, you dipshit. We will, but the hill was here. It was on our right, and so we're taking advantage of it. So 5th Corps pulling back. Of course, the enemy's boring in here in a hurry. They know that we don't have enough infantry to combat that, and so they're very eager to get their fucking hands on this division. So we're going to square it, and then we will move those guys away slowly, right? Meanwhile, we're going to try to hammer the enemy here from the flank. The 6th Corps is sent in here. I can also bring the cav unit over and basically cause a little distraction. That 7th division is kiting the other direction, but I don't have a lot of finesse to the control because, of course, they're fucking 200 units away. Now we're gonna wade in here, right? Our archery time is over, kids. It's time to pound some bitches on the head with a big giant hammer. Actually, it's a little hammer, but it's really fast. I think this is a tier 2 hammerhead for those guys who want to craft. It's quite easy to make. Now, it gets blocked readily, right? It's still, I gotta get out of here. They're fucking surrounding me. You know, it's still a hammer, so it doesn't break shields. I told them to charge. Oh, I know what's going on. They're gonna have to hold fire. That's all right. They can just shoot. If they have ammo, I think I'd rather they shoot in this situation. The enemy has so many fucking troops. I feel like I'm wading in a river that's named Sturgia, right? This is like the Sturgeon River, and there's tons of fucking denizens inside it. A little bit of kiting here while our archers continue to wrap them up. These infantry are just like parking themselves here. They're like trying to capture the flag or something like that. Get the fuck out of here. We're gonna shoot you guys in your ankles, fucking dipshits. This is our fucking side of the battlefield. Get out. Alright, reset the 5th. Let's reset the 6th as well. Let's get these guys back up on this hill. Because that hill has sort of an angle, it doesn't give the enemy archers very good line of sight for us, right? They can't really shoot us that well, and that helped in that first wave. Now, already looking at their next batch of reinforcements, they have 250 some infantry, right? That's a problem. We are eventually going to run out of ammo. In fact, let's hold fire right here. Get yourself straightened out. My cavalry's acting today like they haven't had any fucking caffeine. Figure it out, boys. What the fuck? Now, it's interesting. The enemy's sort of... Oh, I see what's going on here. Their infantry's trudging up. They're holding their shields out. That's why it's taking so long for this next phase. They do have some archers, and they're sort of firing at us, but they're so far away, it represents virtually no threat. In fact, this is probably just a waste of arrows for me to be doing that. Every arrow hits a shield, and that's why we're held fire, right? We hold fire till they get close. I can see guys running through the valley there. We can't just let guys fucking run at us through the valley here. The arrows start whizzing all over the place, and this is the archer's advantage. This stage of a battle, right, this is where the archer has the advantage. How long is this going to last, though, right? I'm looking up at our ammo, and a lot of units are already down half. So I have these pitiful cav divisions that I can kind of sacrifice on the enemy here, but I'm kind of out of options, right? There's another gigantic wave of shield cavalry, and I don't have any infantry, right? This is just not really a thing. I've got like, I mean, maybe we have 10 infantry. I don't have a real infantry division. Let's put it that way. Heavy cav is trucking our center. The axes and whatnot have started to fly. And here they come with heavy cav, and this is also hard to deal with when you have no infantry, right? There's just a bunch of horsemen fucking stomping your ass. Shit. The vanguard is coming to us. That's not what I expected. We charge. Let's charge and hold fire. Let's just send everybody here. Maybe with brute force we can push these guys off. We do have high-level units. I have high-level companions in here. And we obviously still have like Battanian Fiend Champs, and these are no longer the enemy's elite troops, right? This is their tier 4 infantry because we smoked their top tier infantry already. It's actually going really well. Now we're suffering injuries probably. It's one of those situations where even though it's green death spam, we're probably taking a lot of damage, right? A lot of guys probably just lost half or a third of or 2/3 of their health. But that was successful, right? It was kind of what we had to do here. This fucking dipshit chasing me with his mace. Get the fuck out of here. Looks like I got reinforcements across the valley there, so we can use those, right? These guys can be used to impinge upon the enemy. There's cavalry now running through their midst. Let's go ahead and open fire here. Let's get this 6th division. These guys can be reset and they can be held to open fire. We'll split this infantry, split this archer division. Now we've got essentially 3 archer divisions that have ammo. The first is a mix, which is suboptimal. Right now I can shield wall them, and you know there's going to be archers jammed next to infantry, but we're going to roll with that for now. I'm setting up my huge shield walls here, right? My cavalry shield walls, and this is definitely sarcasm. There's like 3 guys, 4 guys in it, but I already hear their shields absorbing arrows, right? That's a good result. Let's get some archers here on this ridge so that we can start shooting down on them. With fresh ammo, right, we really need to do damage to the enemy, even at range. Now that's probably too far, right? Like I'm zoomed all the way in and I can barely hit guys. Continue to protect our right flank here with cavalry. They have horse archers coming in. Those guys are going to be killed quickly. You can see their death spam. The Quan Klee or whatever the fuck. It's one of the noble lines of the Khazate. Oh shit, he survived a good heavy blow there. So another vanguard is coming. Shit, heavy cav vanguard is coming, and what do I have to do with it? The only defense I have is a tree, right? We just don't have any cavalry here. I'm hiding so I don't get crushed. And the heavy vanguard is heading right for us. Let's stick this infantry archer division in a square as bait. I mean, that's an ominous sign when you have no infantry. Let's kite with the 4th. I'm having a hard time seeing with the line of sight is not good in the trees here. That huge Sturgian division just charged. We got to back up here a little bit. Now we've got to fucking face this withering onslaught of throwing weapons. I see the axes and javelins flying through the air. Looks like a fucking New York first of the year, right? New Year's Day parade. There's fucking shit flying all over the place. It's getting messy. There's a lot of death spam, right? And these are those our archers that charged that second battle, that second collision. A lot of them were injured, and now they're starting to die, right? That's just an inevitability to this. My companions are in here, right? Fighting it out just like me. I'm avoiding javelins, fucking sturgeons everywhere. They're all holding their shields up. I actually got a soft spot in my heart for sturgeons. I love how they defend. This is like the best route sometimes. Just get on a horse and pull yourself back. Let's see what we got over here. It looks like reinforcements came in with an infantry division, so let's spread these guys out. Hopefully they can do some damage on the enemy before they kill that side. Our right side is going to get annihilated. And I can help here on horse for a bit, club some of these archers. I do this also for reconnaissance to kind of see what's going on here. And what's going on here is our right wing is getting smoked. Fucker. I got like 6 fucking guys chasing me. I partly want that, but obviously I've got to handle these guys eventually. We're bobbing and weaving because we're being shot at from every fucking direction. Oh my god, it just seems like there's endless waves. Of course, we just destroyed a large Sturgian force, and lo and behold, right, there's another one. Actually, we didn't destroy this wing. There's still guys over here. Motherfucker. That's very bad. Oh, never mind. I just looked, and we have like 20 troops. So this battle is over. Obviously, we don't lose a lot of battles on the channel, but that is a feature, right? If you're watching this and this is one of the first videos you've seen, or the first video where we lose, this happens, right? We're making a very audacious challenge here of 2,200, right? Sturgeons. We only had 450 or so troops. Our companions were injured. Some of our troops were injured. And of course, with no archers, tactically, it was a difficult situation. I won't make any excuses here. We lost, right? Loss is a loss as I fight to the death here against these fucks. But ultimately, this is part of the game, right? And you will experience this, of course. I remember in my very first campaign, I lost like every other battle. And then I realized that the most important thing with Bannerlord is to not lose, right? When you lose all your troops, you're captured, costs you money in and ransoms. It's a disaster, right? So, fortunately, we don't lose very often. Here's a loss. Again, though, these are just exhibition, right? These are essentially a science experiment. What is better, javelins or archers? We're going to find out. So the first battle, obviously, is a defeat, and we ended up taking, what is that, 1474, right? Do a little math, a little carry the 4, shit like that, right? Or carry whatever the fuck. So 1474 we defeated in this first battle. Now we'll reload this here, a little fancy editing, and we'll try it with skirmishers. Alright, it does look like it's recording here. I have spared you some of the gory details, of course. We've done some upgrades. It's the same army, it's all banged up. I'm not going to show you the upgrade process. All you need to know is that it's the same army, and what we're going to do here is just disband the archer side, right? We've got this, fortunately, this same Sturgian force is coming to play, so we're going to disband our archery companion, and here's the other gal, right? Now, this gal has good medicine skills, but it's a little lower than the other one, so the hit points of the troops will be a little bit lower, but we'll see how this battle goes. It's going to be very different, right? We're going to be slugging this out infantry on infantry, and of course we're going to be trying to throw javelins. I don't know if you saw it, I did it kind of quick there, but she has something like 50 or 60 Battanian wildlings. Every unit in her army and all of our companions now have their javelins out. Of course, a lot of our companions, probably 10 of our companions, have the 250 plus throwing skill perk, which means it goes right through a shield, right? It's a very, very powerful perk, and of course we try to give those guys 2 or 3 stacks of javelins. Let's see here. So my divisions are mixed again. Let's just reset the 4th, 5th, and 7th. It doesn't... I think I have like 45 or 50 archers, right? It said 80. Yeah, see, they were mixed up with infantry, so we'll correct that. And I think I'm just going to run 1 archer division. In this situation, there's just not enough archers realistically to flank. You know, if you have 10 archers, don't put 5 on both sides, right? Like, just 1 division. If you have 10 archers, right, you're not at a stage where you can really do dynamic tactics. So the 6th, let's see, let's turn this into a shock division so that Zuvan can lead this savage batch of 2-handed weapon motherfuckers, right? All these guys, palace guards and manavliatons and shit like that. And let's do some shield and shock, right? We will have the 4th skirmishers. It's now a skirmisher division. Need to give them a captain. Varag is perfect. We can just stick these archers in the 5th corps. So the idea here is the 4th and 6th on the enemy's left, our right, will collapse in, and I'm actually hoping to get our skirmishers behind the enemy, right? Both to cut off their retreat, but obviously also to throw javelins into their spine. It hurts a lot to have a javelin thrown into your spine. I heard Alexander had a javelin in the spine once, and it, you know, took him out for half a day. Alright, so let's get these guys up on this ridge a little bit, but one of the key things early on in this battle is I don't want the enemy vanguard to engage this side, right? If they do, we will kite. We will, frankly, it'll look like we're running, because I want to make sure that they engage our center. Our center has some 50-some infantry, a cav division, and then the archers are back there. I'm hoping that's enough troops to draw them that direction. Now I'm going to alternate this first and second unit. These are cav javelins and infantry javelins, and the reason I'm doing that is I want my foot javelins throwing at the beginning, but then I want the shield wall cav rescuing them when a huge cavalry press comes. Of course, after whipping out my bow, suddenly this feels like playing chess on Mars, and my chess pieces are floating around. It's very different all of a sudden for me to throw javelins, but we'll see if we can't get the hang of it again here. Normally, of course, you use one or the other, not both, and so my skills here are kind of getting disrupted. It's like a curved monitor. If any of you guys have a curved monitor, you guys probably know. The next time you see a non-curved monitor, it's like fucking, you're all boggled. It looks like it's inversely curved. So the javelins are starting to work. Let's get the first backed up hard and the fifth. Let's just back the fifth way the fuck off. Let's open fire here with the fourth. I forgot to tell you, I didn't mention it. I had the fourth on hold fire. When you have javelin units, you have to conserve fire, right? You cannot just have these guys unloading. Whoops, now they're on open fire. You can't just have them throwing away at the beginning because you'll get to a critical stage of the battle and you'll be out of ammo. So I'm pulling the cav division back in a square, and the infantry division, frankly, I have them like running here, right? This huge vanguard almost got to them. We still want these guys throwing javelins for a while. If they just immediately get to that first division, those guys will die in like 12 seconds. So we want to kite here a little bit. We wanted the enemy to do exactly what they did. Now I'm going to plow the road on the right flank here with cavalry, and I'm strictly doing this as a defensive maneuver. Now fortunately that's Jav Cav, so they will rack up some kills, hold up a shield, and throw javelins at the enemy archers. But the main thing I want a safety corridor, because we're going to turn our backs. Let's see how this goes, hopefully. I've got the 4th and 6th right here. The 6th is shock, again, to remind you, and the 4th are my skirmishers. I want to get down to the ground level with my skirmishers. Now that the enemy's getting kind of wrapped up here, see, their archers are here. I want our cavalry basically right in front of these guys so that we're somewhat safe, right? They're shooting at our cavalry instead of at our skirmishers. So our skirmishers are starting to rain down here. I'm going to charge with the 6th division, and then as that's happening, as the enemy's center's held down, we will flank with the 4th. And I think we should be able to get these guys to the side here. So smack a few guys, and I'm going to join these guys on foot, right? It's basically, not only do I love doing this, but it just gives you a better idea of what's going on. So you see their archers there. All I'm doing again is putting my cav right in their face. The 6th is boring into the enemy's side. On the other side, I've got that 1st infantry and a shield wall. So those guys are, look at it, they're just surrounding it. They're just absolutely going crazy on it. 230 infantry going nuts on it, which is fine, right? Because the 6th Corps is chewing up their side. Fuck, hit me right in the fucking face. Oh, fuck, I took a javelin in the neck. I'm lucky I'm not dead. The 1st division is starting to melt, right? That square is starting to break down, but the enemy all of a sudden is going to have very angry 6th Corps on their side, and now our skirmishers are coming up behind them. Bringing the 4th Corps, said follow me. These guys will start shooting. The 6th Corps is boring in here. Let's have these guys stand still, actually charge. The enemy is fucking trying to bail. Fuck no, you guys aren't escaping. Everybody charges here. We've got them surrounded. We're not letting them get out. And the tactic here is simple, right? Pound fucks before they pound you. Look at that wall of the 4th Corps. It's just preventing their escape. It looks like bouncers at a bar that are like, you can't go. You haven't drank enough fucking beer yet. Keep drinking. These guys are just getting swallowed up, and the death spam is concurrent, right? It's entirely green as the enemy, and this is true annihilation. The term annihilation refers to what just happened. All of their infantry just died, every single one of them. My cav divisions are badly damaged now, so we're sending literally 2 cavalry there just to sort of occupy the enemy. Hopefully if they shoot at us, a lot of the arrows will go right into those guys. Don't tell those guys, but they're definitely sacrificial. Let's bring our archers up here. I don't actually have a plan for this next phase. We don't have many arrows left. We're really low at javelins. In fact, most of our units are out of javelins. We need reinforcements is what we need here. I need a pizza oven or a pizza dish here. I got a nice big sturgeon pizza dish. Pick up a handful of javelins here. We're in scavenger mode. This fucking guy, get off. Fucking dipshit. The enemy has archers and another infantry block, of course. Fuck. Square up. Let's get these guys squared. Let's take cover behind a tree here. My health is already precarious. Let's smash some of these horsemen as they come around the tree. And we can start kiting again here. The only thing I can think to do here is sweep in from the side, right? We can kite towards the center and then have the wings collapse, right? It's basically Hannibal Kanai. It's the same idea. I'm getting UI errors because the fucking enemy is all over the place here, so I can't control my men. So I'm literally just telling them, follow me, right? That's something that you guys will want to learn. If you want to position them somewhere and everywhere you click it says charge, right? You just tell them to follow you instead, and it's the easiest way to control their behavior. So the enemy's quite interested in our 6th division here. So we've charged with the center. They're not really biting on the 1st division, so frankly, we're just brooding this next stage out. The good thing is that the enemy doesn't have any elite troops now, right? Or probably not very many if they do have some, because we massacred them already. I'm getting my ass whipped in this episode worse than normal. Do something. The dude's just standing there. I think he must have been told just to stand there. Still, we butchered this fucking infantry line. I mean, that was savage. Now, we had a little bit of a flank on our own side, and one of the divisions, I can't remember which, was in a square. But this is a fucking trouncing right now. I mean, one of the benefits here, and we got reinforcements. Hold that thought. All right, let's get an infantry division to square out towards the front, the 4th division. Motherfuckers, I can't even... Let me command here, enemy, you fucking assholes. When the enemy's doing this to you, by the way, just attack, right? Send everybody to charge. When they're all over you and you can't even fucking think because you're surrounded, get yourself free, and then you can enact some tactics. Right? If you get killed while you're trying to make orders, it's not going to do anybody any good at all. I think we've sufficiently beaten these guys off this attack, right? Get the fuck out of here, fucking asshole Sturgians. I got heavy cav running through here, cutting them down. All right, now we can reset. So 4th Corps and a shield. No, fuck. I think I just dismounted all my cavalry by accident. Actually, let's leave the 5th in an archer corps like that. We can actually move the archers around the flank of the enemy here. I need 2 infantry divisions, so I want one of these infantry divisions to basically act as a potential square and a shield wall line. We may flank the enemy also, right, where we just have enemies pinching in on the enemy center. I got a bunch of javelins here. Hold everything. I see a couple more of these here. These are juicy, especially while there's a little break in the battle here. Oh shit. I was mentioning something earlier. I can't even remember what I was mentioning, but it'll have to wait. Maybe something will remind me. I think I was just, you know, the strength of our army here, because we damaged them so badly in that first rout, we still have elite troops, right? I'm looking around. I still see fucking aserai, veteran infantry. I still see tier 5 units. And obviously, when we charged there, we were charging with mostly tier 5 units, even some tier 6 still. And obviously, we were able to overcome tier 3 and tier 4 guys. So I have this messy division here. This 1st division, again, is infantry and archers. I want them on this the right flank again because of that elevation. Again, I hear you fellas, you know, you should be putting them on the other side because of their shield, right? Enemies carry a shield typically in the left hand. That means to swing their weapon, their right side is vulnerable. I got some horse archers here sort of prickling us. But right now, I'm just, okay, now they're coming. I had a little moment there, so I was just ordering my troops. You often don't get that, and I was taking advantage of it here. We got some javelins. I've got 2 different infantry divisions. We can close in on these guys. Of course, we're probably going to charge with that 5th division as well. All these guys have javelins that they can throw as well. There's a cav press coming up. Let's get this cavalry unit. Where's this 3rd or 2nd division? Hurry your asses in here. I probably did that too late. Of course, these are weak cav here, right? These guys are coming in slow and feeble. Where's that vanguard? It's about to break on our line here. No, sergeants don't get to take control. Back this square up. God damn it. Still having UI issues. Let's just have those guys stand still and square. We're butchering these horse archers here. The javelins are flying too, right? I see javelins pounding the enemy there. We could start kiting with this division. Just like before, I'm going to have these guys follow me because I've had like consistent UI issues in this battle. I think it's because there's so many fucking horsemen. These fucking asshole horsemen fucking up my command. So they're swarming the square, and that's, you know, there's guys dying over there because of that. But We can now stretch these units around to the enemy's flank. I need some cav. Let's bring this cav line forth behind the enemy again, and let's get cav right in the fucking face of the enemy here. In fact, I'm gonna like push it right through the enemy forces. Got going on here. The third corps is over on the left. I've got all these skirmishers here. I see that they physically still have javelins, right? There's, what is that, 500 enemy troops still massed up there. So we'll send cavalry through their mass. We now, again, just like before, this should look familiar. We now have skirmishers behind them and a square in the middle. So they're being hammered by javelins in the back. I can just see the javelins firing over this hill. Of course, I'm throwing my own. This first division, let's charge these bitches, right? Let's get them spread out and charge. There's a bunch of infantry in there. Those archers will keep shooting after they charge. These cav divisions are getting mauled, but the death spam just turned in our favor, right? The archers just got into position. I've got a bunch of javelins here I can pick up right at the feet of this huge division. This division can be told to bore in on the enemy here. And again, just like before, we have them pinched, right? You can see what's going on. On one flank, they're being burrowed in over there by the first division. Skirmishers are here throwing javelins. And part of the reason I'm not eager to rush right up there is I want our guys to discharge these javelins, right? You see them killing guys left and right. Once they're out of ammo, charge, right? Then we go into battle here. Let's fucking rip these boys up. I got a bunch of archers here. I might just wade into this. This is one of those situations where I just go postal. I got a quarter of my health left. I'll be back for you there, Battanian Fiend Champ. Let me just kite out of your reach. And guess what? I'm back, motherfucker. Don't turn your back on me next time. We're wading through this shit. I'm going to truck half these archers myself. Or get killed. Sometimes you just got to play fucking berserker mode. My army needs it here. We need some support. I got to play the hero for this episode. I'm not attacking a bunch of guys with shields, that's for sure. In fact, taxi! Let me get out of here. The death spam is kind of ugly. I don't know if I'm getting more reinforcements. This might be it, so we're going to bore in here. Club down some of their archers. I have an absolute fraction of health left. That first corps is just torching the enemy. There's archers in there as well. Let's try to get some of the archers at the back wall there. Again, I'm having UI issues. I've never had so many issues as this battle here. And of course, it's making an incredibly hard battle even harder. Of course, if Zuvan gets dropped here, I do have the RTS mod. I'll be able to take the wheel of another companion. But obviously, I'm just a lot more comfortable with Zuvan, and I'm going to try to keep him alive here. Play a little bit more defensive, whip out my shield some. Oh, shit. This is reinforcements. No. Again, UI errors. It's just like every other command, it's giving me a hard time. Fucking piece of shit. Usually it's not so stubborn. Alright, let's lead with cav shield walls here. I've got 2 cav divisions, I've got 3 infantry divisions, and now I have this reinforcement archer division, which is awesome because we needed the ammo, right? We can actually kite with these divisions. These guys are discharging javelins, so I have no reason for me to rush these guys up, right? In fact, we kind of want to stall here, right? I'd like to form a division into a square. These guys are just firing away their javelins. The archers are now raking the enemy on their side over here. I can actually have them face behind the enemy here, and I'm just going to swing across their line here, clubbing guys. Well, I got some attention quickly that time. Give me your horse. This fucking guy's chasing me to the end of the earth. I'm so close to dying. I can't take one more hit, but these archers are causing major damage. Those skirmishers are fucking laying waste to everything. Let's kite a little bit with these guys we got going on over there. Let's have those guys charge. We can kite with these archers here. We do have a lot of troops boring in on them, but a lot of these guys are still shooting. Fuck. I want a horse. At this stage, I feel super vulnerable. I mean, obviously, I am super vulnerable. My health, it says 0, right? If you were in a car, you'd be like, well, the motor's gonna stop any second now. This guy's getting trucked. The death spam's pretty good still, though. These archers are kited. They're gonna start unleashing hell. We've got enough infantry here that these guys can start pressing in, right? Got 12. I mean, we are down to a scrap of troops. Shit. A single little spear. If a guy blows on me, I'll be knocked off my horse. There's horse archers here. Fuck it. Motherfuckers. Fucking flag guy trying to poke me and shit. Where's the rest of their troops? I think they routed. They are. They're heading for the exit. Wow, we won this battle. After getting beat, I don't want to say pretty solidly. Oh, yeah, I'll say pretty solidly with our archer variation of this. We've pulled victory out of the bag here. 2,200 Sturgians, injured troops and all, and the enemy's clubbed in the face and heading for the exits en masse. They look like baby boomers retiring, right? That little chute is the retirement chute. They're just pouring up there, flooding every restaurant, overwhelming the healthcare system. And we're left here like Generation X and Generation Y saying, wait a minute, you want me to work 80-hour days so that you can retire? Now, all jokes aside, victory here with this rather motley crew at the end. Imperial archers and highborn youth and whatnot. Everybody's all bloody. Look at this is one of my badass companions. Isn't there something fucking amazingly beautiful about a woman just soaked in blood? And victory is ours. Man, this is definitely not a battle I thought we could win here. Get a little victory sip. Looks like a few of our units, or a few of their units, hadn't quite routed off here, so we'll pursue them. But needless to say, this one is not hard to score, right? I'm not gonna keep a tally here necessarily. I might tally it up at the end, but in this episode, right at the end of the episodes, I will basically say, I mean, it's empirical, right? Obviously, the Skirmisher division, the Skirmisher army did better here, right? The first battle with archers we lose. Here with Skirmishers, 363 casualties. We only had 116 survivors, so it was a narrow shave. Look at this. The Bacanian Fiends didn't suffer one loss. That is amazing. That's kiting. That's cav shield lines. That's pretty amazing. Of course, she has that bonus to their hit points, too. So they all have, like, I don't know, 180 hit points or something like that. But needless to say, right, in this episode at least, you'd have to say Skirmishers did better. They did remarkably better against the heavy, hey, we'll take some of your troops, against this heavy infantry press of Sturgians. Our infantry held out strong and carried the day. The archers lost, the Skirmishers win, and we're going to move on with this series. I'm not going to film 30 episodes, don't worry, I won't bore you guys to death. I'll try to keep redundancy out of this. We might do 5. Actually, we might do best of 7 or something like that. I'm not going to tell you the status just yet. It feels wrong. We'll take these arrows. These are about the best arrows you can get. And we will move on. So with that said, of course, if you want to see more, friends, you want to hit that subscribe button. Always hit that like button if you liked it, of course. Right? I appreciate you fellas. Please leave comments and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you guys next time.